Hi, welcome to another edition of Onside SA. And Budgie's gallivanting around the world, and Bodrum's in. Gavin Radford's come to stand in with him. We'll be speaking to Stevie B in the London studio. But we've also, luckily enough, earlier I spoke to Charlie Pigram, a man steeped in Spurs history, and we'll get a clip of him later. But we always start off with Onside SA, and with Last One Standing on Onside SA, and there's 4 people left, and Gav, it's getting down to the nitty-gritties because they've used most of the good teams.
Yeah, I think if they had bets during the week, I think everybody would be out. Yeah, I think the results were horrific this last couple of days. Yeah. But yeah, good luck to these guys. I mean, four guys left, got a good chance.
I remember speaking to Budgie about it, and he said Hilton Wiets and I think Mark Fourie had saved a few big teams.
I think Hilton's a slight favourite, but if I mention him, I put the markers on him.
Put the markers.
So we'll leave Hilton at that.
Yeah, he's the favourite. But just having said that, don't forget, Budgie will be sending out these 4 players, their selections, so we can find out how they go at Last One Standing. And a great prize to be won. Let's hope they get the right teams. But we're going to be speaking to Stevie B. Before we speak to Stevie B, we spoke, as I said, to Charlie Pigram from Spurs earlier. We've got a great guest here. Guy's given us a lot of information over the months here. And Charlie, thanks very much for coming in.
Welcome.
This is Charlie Pigram from Spurs. Mr. Spurs, as you know, Stevie B is 50 years at Fulham. The same thing with Charlie. Charlie, Spurs man all your life.
Yep. Man and boy.
Man and boy. You've gone all the way through. Now, I want to ask you a few questions about it because you seem to have your finger on the pulse. You're involved with that Duck Hub waffle.
Yep.
Your mates. Charlie, first question, the stadium. What's the latest feedback you got?
I've been to the stadium. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, and really, it should have been a 2-year plan. I think he tried to put it through earlier, but it just hasn't worked out. But when we get there, it is going to be the best.
They're talking Crystal Palace in March. Is that accurate?
They're saying Crystal Palace. I don't think they want to put the Arsenal game there because it'll be too big a game to police. And to have your opening game there against your enemies, you don't want to be getting beat.
You don't want to be the Gooners. So. Charlie, tell me the setup with this, the old White Hart. We've pushed the capacity up by about another 20,000.
62,000 now.
That's fantastic.
So, you know, you're looking at match day, the revenue coming in. We've not named the ground yet, so there's a big revenue coming in.
So it's not White Hart Lane?
It's still White Hart Lane at the moment, but Nike
looking for a big sponsorship.
Big sponsorship, so that's not been named yet. So the revenue will be coming in, you know. So
Charlie, talking about revenue now, we've had our supporters, you and I, and a lot of people up in arms because we aren't purchasing in the windows. Is it because of going over budget with the ground?
I don't think so. I think that Poch wants who he wants, you know. And if you look when Lucas Moura come in, we bought Lucas Moura in the January, but never played him.
Yes.
Till late on because he wasn't Pochettino fit.
Yeah.
And you're going to have somebody coming in that's not fit, won't train to the regime. And Poch wants his own people in there.
Yeah, I understand that fully. There's pressure for Poch to stay, which I think he'll definitely say. He's got to put a season at the new stadium. How good a manager is he?
Oh. When we had Redknapp there, Redknapp took us to a level.
Yeah.
And Harry couldn't take us no further. Now Poch's took us to the next level, which is second. So, you know, they'll moan about inventors that 90 seconds he should have, when they brought their sub on, 90 seconds he should have changed it. But, hey-ho, you know, we've won more than we've lost.
We're a good team to watch.
In Poch we trust.
In Poch we trust. And then telling the side, let's look at the side. If we haven't bought players, a fit squad, we're competitive.
Oh, we'll beat anyone on their day.
Yeah.
Anybody, you know, but and we're competing at the moment, you know. We're getting by with Llorente, Son's come back, we've got Kane, Ali to come back, you know, so by beginning of March when we play the Arsenal, maybe, you know, we'll have a full squad. And have a great running.
Yeah, because it's great that Song's back. We saw his input last night, and Moura's not right yet, eh? They're half a game and that type of thing.
The thing is with Moura, I think, you know, he doesn't fit. He unbalances the side a little bit, but as an impact player, as a sub, I think he's a great asset to the team.
Charlie, a lot of people have got different opinions on who to play on the side. We've got a decent enough squad. Where's the weak link? If you had to buy, if you had the money to buy, where would you buy? Would you have another keeper?
I think Gazinga's good enough.
And Lloris time
comes up. He's counting down there, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, little mistake there last night.
Should have come, or shouldn't have come, one of the two. Yeah.
Exactly. And if he doesn't come, the ball goes into his arms.
Yeah.
Because he comes, he trickles in.
Yeah.
But just you know, then as a shot stopper, Lloris is good, you know.
Yeah,
he's a
good
World
shot.
Cup winner. So
Yeah.
you can't ask for more than that.
But he messed up in World Cup against. Remember, he tried to dribble the striker,
yes,
and
yes.
he's making hash-ups. I think he's a great stopper, but I think time could be up. We need someone to control the back there. And the question is, Cups or Champions League?
Champions League, you know, they say every year Tottenham ain't won nothing. Tottenham ain't won nothing. Now there's 4 trophies to go for: Champions League, Premier League. The competition is immense.
Yes, those are 2 big
Then
ones.
you've got the FA Cup and the Littlewoods Cup, you know. So revenue-wise, you want to be up there in the Premier League and get Champions League. And West Ham, they've not won nothing. You know,
but Liverpool haven't either for a long time.
Exactly, Liverpool ain't won nothing.
The butt of all jokes are Spurs and Liverpool.
Exactly.
Don't you want that to stop?
Exactly. Listen, we're still in it at the moment, I'm telling you.
we should-
Looking at the table today,
Yeah.
Liverpool's got to go to Man United. We've got to go to Liverpool. We've got a great record up at Liverpool. So, you know, there's a 6-point turnaround there.
So top 4, you comfortable?
Oh, all day long. Top 4.
All day long.
Chelsea get beat last night. Arsenal hit and miss, you know. So we are consistent at the moment.
Charlie, last question. You're going to Dortmund?
We'll see. See what the wife says. I've buttered her up on this holiday, so hopefully the old brownie points are working.
And you got to get out there. Charlie, you've travelled all over the world. You went to Russia with England.
Russia.
You get to travel?
Yeah. I went to see Shakhtar Donetsk v Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's the furthest I've travelled. But Russia in the World Cup was a fantastic experience.
Charlie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you show. At least people know when you send us all the information who we're talking to. Charlie, thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
There we go. That's Charlie Pigram. Well, great to talk with the legend, and he really is a very informed man when it comes to Spurs and British football. But our resident man, Stevie B's in the London studio, and hopefully they've got our man Stevie B on the line, because Gavin and I are ready to ask him a few questions about this week's games. And Steve, are you there?
I am. Good morning.
Morning. Gavin and I are here. Budgie's drinking at Carlos and Charlie's in Cozumel.
Oh, I understand, yes.
Yeah.
I hope he'll log on later and listen.
Okay. I just wanted to talk firstly, Stevie, about Tuesday night and Wednesday night's games. Tuesday night, obviously the surprise was the champions losing up at Newcastle.
I thought you said the surprise was going to be Fulham winning, but no, you're right. It was. I found that hard to believe, and I heard that sort of Man City had scored in the first minute. And I thought, well, this is going to be a hatful. But all credit to Newcastle. I mean, they sort of dug deep and pulled off probably what is one of the biggest shocks of the season. Yeah,
that's right. Let's hope they've got their shock out the way, because they're playing Spurs this weekend.
They are indeed on the live game on Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, let's talk about Fulham for a moment. You know, you were unfortunate. It was very cruel that you had to lose in the 93rd minute to Spurs, but you bounced back. When you were 2-0 down against Brighton, Steve, I thought trouble in the camp.
Well, I mean, they were a different team in the second half. That whatever was said at half-time, they changed the shape. They went to a back 4. And to be fair, you know, we got back into the game with a goal just after half-time. And they were just, I think it just gave them a lot of confidence. And in the end, they were sort of worthy winners. You know, but you just want to see more of that. I mean, they just played with a lot more sort of purpose, a lot more passion. And I think, you know, that's all you can expect at the moment. So, no, it was good. It was good. Giving us a little bit of a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, there's definitely some hope there. You could have got 6. You played very well in the second half.
In the end, I mean, you know, it could have been. I mean, Brighton just looked in disarray, and they were. It was interesting. I mean, you could see on more than one occasion that the central defenders were arguing amongst themselves, and actually, you know, I mean, Mitrovic had probably one of his best games for us. I mean, he was just, you know, like a beast up front, and played really well. And I have to say as well, Ryan Babel, who's only played his second game. You know, you can still see he's a classy player. Made a lot of difference. I'm just asking Gav here. Gav, have you watched this Ryan Babel play? I think he's ex-Liverpool, isn't he, Steve? Ex-Liverpool, yeah. And, you know, he was quoted as saying recently that he felt that he sort of was let go too early, and he's been sort of plying his trade overseas. But he seems to have a new lease of life. Ronald Koeman has got him back into the Dutch squad, and it just seems to be, at 33, he just seems to be having a,
new lease of life.
Legs, as it were.
Gav, you used to have hair like that, red hair, when you played in South Africa.
I wish.
Gav and I were just talking over this Tuesday and Wednesday. The top 6, only the North London clubs won.
Yeah, I mean, it was some strange results. I mean, you really couldn't have, we just said you couldn't have expected Man City to lose. I didn't expect Liverpool to drop points, especially when they went one up. And then you got United. I mean, there they were, sort of on the, just a few minutes away from a really shocking defeat at home to Burnley. So, you can't predict some of these results. I mean, I think it is, apart from maybe one or two teams at the bottom, anyone could beat anybody on their day in the Premier League.
Steve, I was just asking about Chelsea. Is there really trouble in the camp, or is it just Chelsea having one of those off days?
That was a really poor result. It sounded, for what I understand, is that when they were about 2 down, it's almost like they just sort of surrendered and just sort of gave up. And I think there's something wrong. I mean, Morata obviously misfired, and they let him go. They brought Higuain in, but I'm not sure. He's the answer. I mean, I just don't. They haven't replaced Drogba. They haven't replaced Costa. And if Hazard is not on form, I mean, you just can't see where all their goals are coming from.
Yeah, it's great. I think Higuain has got the ability, but is he going to fit in? They're a very strong squad at Chelsea.
They have got a strong squad, and I think that they're obviously he can't seem to find his best 11 at the moment, Sarri, and. They were having. As it happens, their one good game in recent weeks. I thought they played very well against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup semi-final. But that apart, they've been pretty scratchy the last few matches. And here they are now. Arsenal have caught them, and United are just on their heels. So I think the top 4 is looking could be difficult for Chelsea.
Is it a case of the top team showing a bit of nerves, and the bottom teams have nothing to play for? They're just going for it.
I think that can happen, but also, they've also got one eye. I mean, Chelsea are still in. They were in the Carabao Cup, still in the FA Cup. They've got the Europa League. They're fighting on a lot of fronts, and I'm not sure. They've got a good squad. They've got the depth of squad to actually attack all of those competitions. But I think all the managers all seem to be saying, including Pochettino the other day, that it's nice to win a trophy, but it's finishing top 4 is crucial. So, and we've seen that by sort of team selections.
Yeah, you can see that an injury starting to play a hand. Last question about the midweek games, Steve. Huddersfield gone?
I think so. That was. I mean, Everton have not been very good away from home, and that was an opportunity for Huddersfield. Everton had a player sent off, and they still weren't able to score. I think that, there's something. I think they're now 10 points, 11 points adrift, Huddersfield. I can't see them making that up at all.
All right, Steve, we're going to get your opinion on a couple of games coming up in the top league and the championship, and a few games that I see Budgie's picked out for you to comment on is obviously starting with your team. You go to Palace, tough one?
It is a tough one, but I think I wouldn't say it made it any easier, but Wilfried Zaha was sent off last night, right near the end, so he's missing, and he is, as we know, he is Palace's talisman. I think that is the sort of game that we have to go and believe that we can get a result. I mean, Palace are 6 points clear of us. Obviously, if we win, then we're hot on their heels. If they win, then obviously pull away. And I think if we are to stay up, we have to go and start getting points away from home. So I think we're going to go there with a bit of confidence on the way we played in the second half. I know Palace have been playing reasonably well. They played quite well against a weakened Tottenham team the other day. But I just think we have to be positive and go there and play with the sort of formation that we started in the second half.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the boys that are up there fighting it out. How about Leicester have done well going away. Now they're at home to Liverpool. They don't seem to be producing their best home form.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester obviously sort of drew out Liverpool.
They got Man United, sorry.
They play United. Now it's strange because Leicester seem to have saved their best performances against the teams at the top. I mean, they beat City, they won at Chelsea, they drawn at Liverpool. Right. If there was to be a shock, if they hit the strap, whether they could beat United, I'm not sure they can, but on their day they're a good team, and it does make me wonder. The press have got Claude Puel as being one of the favourites to be sacked all the time, yet they're sort of sitting relatively comfortably in the top 10 without fear of relegation. So there's something obviously that either the way they're playing or that the press just don't seem to like him very much. But I think all credit to them. I think that on their day they play some attractive football.
All right. Man City at home, they got a crown bounce back, but Arsenal coming to town, not easy.
Not easy at all, although I think Arsenal away from home still a little bit of a soft underbelly. I think City will like they did when they lost a couple of games before. I think they have to bounce back. If not, then if Liverpool do win away, then obviously it does give them the opportunity to really pull away. Obviously, Liverpool has the opportunity to go 7 points clear. They're still 5 points clear, so I think City know they've got to win this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And two more games I just wanted to touch on with you. West Ham, they're not having a great run. They got to host Liverpool. Liverpool are going to be wanting to get back in winning ways.
Yeah, West Ham are a funny team. I mean, evidently they were shocking at Wolves during the week. They lost 3-0. I heard it could have been a lot more. Yet, and they lose at AFC Wimbledon, which is a shock. Yet, they go and beat sort of bigger teams at home. So I think I can't see West Ham winning that.
All right, and then Newcastle, Spurs, Newcastle, a cock-a-hoop, a fantastic win for them, but it'll be tough coming to Wembley.
I mean, Newcastle obviously are on the back of a couple of wins in the league, which has sort of pulled them away from the bottom three. I think Tottenham have got to go for it. They maybe given them a bit of confidence coming back late to win yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it was good for Tottenham that obviously City lost. I mean, they're not that far behind them themselves. So I think Tottenham are really going to go for it. And maybe Llorente, having scored, having a bit of a nightmare in recent matches, maybe give him the sort of confidence he needs.
Yeah, if he jumped off a boat, he wouldn't at water, but he did get the winner. And Stevie, in the Championship, West Brom, Middlesbrough, your take?
Yeah, I mean, look, West Brom are the highest scorers. Middlesbrough don't concede many. It's going to be a very tight game. I think West Brom might just edge that. I think it'll be a relatively low-scoring game, but I think West Brom might just edge it.
Okay, and Leeds Norwich must be another big game.
Yeah, I mean that's really is a top-of-the-table game. Leeds are strong at home. I think that they might. I mean, Norwich never know when they're beaten, score a lot of goals, but I think Leeds are just maybe might be a little bit too strong for them.
All right, Steve, to end off every week, I'm going to ask you who's going to win the Premier League and see if it changes over the weeks running up to the...
It does.
Who's going to win the Premier League, Steve? I'm going
to go with Liverpool.
Okay, bird in the hand.
City have shown now on more than one occasion that they can be beaten, and I just think the other night it's maybe just turned. I know Liverpool didn't win last night and they had an opportunity, but they're not losing many games, Liverpool, and City have now lost a few. So I'll go for Liverpool. It'll keep somebody we know happy, Michael Aboud. So I'll go for Liverpool.
Yeah, he's back in the country. He came out for the Met. He got home suntanned and burnt, but he's back.
Yes, yeah, he's looking forward to seeing if Fulham can hold the mighty Reds in a few weeks at the Cottage.
Stevie, as always, thanks very much for your input, and we speak to you next week.
Okay, indeed. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, David.
Bye-bye. Gav, who's going to win the Premier League? I want your opinion each week as well.
I think Liverpool.
You're both in the same camp.
When you win the league, you need that little bit of luck to run your way. You don't lose matches, you'll get a point out of it, and that's what Liverpool are doing.
Liverpool's last three have been stuttering. They conceded 3 and won 4-3 at Palace. They scraped the penalty past Brighton, and they drew one with Leicester.
I think the top teams are feeling a bit of the nerves now. You get the run and
pressure's
coming
there.
now, 12, 14 games to go. The pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
Managers will try and keep the players calm, but it's there's so much that's in the press.
Yeah. We haven't got our board to show you the Premier League games, but we'll talk you through them. We've got the boards for the Championship and, of course, the PSL. But let's get rolling, get your opinions. We'll run through them for the public out there. This week, it's a Saturday, early kick-off, Tottenham at home to Newcastle. Your take?
It's third playing 14th. I mean, it's quite a big points difference between the two teams, 54 playing 24 on the points sets. You would think that Tottenham have got this game cold.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little bit worried that the strike force of theirs is not good enough.
Yeah.
And Benitez is always one to throw one in the hat.
He's shrewd.
He's a shrewd manager. He plans
He's stuck
very
with
well.
these boys, eh?
He needs a medal for being with them for so long.
He needs a medal, eh? Okay, we're going to go Tottenham there. Then 18-10 Brighton, 16-10 Watford. Interesting game.
Yeah, Brighton threw the game away the other night. They were going comfortably. Same with Watford. They were 1-0 up. Looked like they could hold on to something.
Yeah.
Tough game.
Brighton
to
are
call.
good at home. They've got a lovely stadium.
Yeah, they just fell apart the other night. It just
Yeah.
worries me that I don't know if some players are getting a bit tired or they're injured.
What would you go for, a draw?
I would go for a draw there.
You're going for a draw. Marking down your selections here. Okay. Burnley nearly pulled off a fantastic win at United.
Well, I thought their game plan was spot on the other
Yeah.
night against United. United have been taking teams quickly on the break. They didn't
Yeah.
allow Jones to play with the ball at the back. He's so bad at the back that
Yes.
every time he got the ball, they just pressurised
I'm
him.
amazed that, when they beat Spurs and Spurs bombarded them, Harry Kane turned Jones inside out. He's battling Jones, and I think...
No, he's definitely the weak link in United, definitely. We've got to buy another defender. The guy Bailly, I think he's a little bit better, but he's a bit erratic. He gets out of position quite often, where Jones just loses players completely.
And he fights everything. And
I think
he's
if Spurs had got one, they would have got 10 against
Yeah,
United.
that's right. Okay, so Burnley, Southampton, how are you going to read it?
I'm going to go with Burnley. I think they put up a very good
They've
show
turned
the
it
other
around a
night.
bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
and
good show.
Southampton, funny enough, are playing well for this Austrian.
I like Southampton. They like to play. They've got
Yeah.
a good ball plan. They've got a passionate manager. He's come in there and he's turned them around.
He
But I
really
think Burnley
has.
will have too much for them.
Okay, now Chelsea should beat Huddersfield. They're coming off a 4-0 drubbing during the week. They're going to be knee-jerk reaction. The manager's going to know, listen, I've dropped out of the top 4. Officially, Arsenal have overtaken us in the top 4 on goal difference.
This is a pressure game for Chelsea, but I would think that they've got this game covered. Chelsea at 1-6 against Huddersfield. It's 5th playing 20th in the
16 to 1. You don't normally get that, eh?
You don't get 16 to 1 in a football match. Not a premiership match. You shouldn't be so one-sided, but I think this game will be one-sided.
Crystal Palace Fulham. Now, we spoke to Stevie B with Zaha having been sent off during the week. I think the boys, I don't think the boys from Last One Standing, who there's only 4 of them left, will be taking a chance on these two.
These two teams are struggling.
Struggling,
But Crystal Palace at home, the record is bad this year.
Yeah, they've struggled.
They've
And
got
then
more points away.
Away from home, they've been magnificent.
Exceptional away from home. They just can't seem to perform at home in front of their
Yeah,
fans.
without Zaha, it'll be very interesting. A draw for you?
Yeah, I'm leaning for a draw this game. Definitely a draw.
Everton Wolves. Wolves are doing well. Everton need to, the manager's under pressure, Mini Mourinho. What do you think?
Well, I had a
11 to
nice
10.
strike. I had a nice strike on Everton last week, and they got a result for me. It was 11-10, so it was a good bet. I
It's
thought.
11 to 10 again.
But Wolves, I mean, one of those teams they play with a lot of passion, a lot of fire. They get amongst you.
Yeah.
Tough game for Everton. And again, another team that doesn't perform at home. They play they're very well away from home, Everton. So I would lean to a little bit towards Wolves in this game.
All right. Cardiff City, they're clinging into their chances. Bournemouth, cock a hoop now.
Yeah, well, if you looked at the first half against Chelsea, Bournemouth could have been a couple of goals behind, but they hung in there and they waited for their chance. They took them, and you get 4 past Chelsea at Chelsea. I mean, it's I've got to lean with
I think
Bournemouth
it was
on that
Bournemouth.
performance. On that performance,
Yeah.
you've got to go with Bournemouth to win.
Okay, lovely. So Bournemouth are going to. Now, Leicester City, Man United. Man United play much better football. They showed 2-0 down. They showed character. Nearly came back and won at 3-2. They've got Pogba, Jarvin. They've got
I think
Sanchez
we were in
back.
Fergie time last week to get a
that's
result.
right, yeah.
So we were quite lucky. I mean, we didn't take our
Leicester are
chances.
talented.
Very good side. They've got good players in
Good players,
positions. You know,
yeah.
the goalkeeper to
Great
the point in the
centre-half,
middle,
great striker, through the middle,
they
they're
can hurt
good.
you in places. And they seem to have a very well-balanced team. That's Leicester.
So
There's
that's
no
an
flair
interesting
there,
game.
but just well-balanced.
Interesting.
Very interesting game. I'm worried about this game for United because if they don't come there, because we're playing, catching a lot of teams on the break,
Yes.
and we're leaving 2-3 players upfield, and then quickly on the break we can.
If you've got money, you'd buy defenders. You've got a great
Definitely,
goalkeeper, pace up
definitely.
front, great skill in the
I mean,
midfield.
3 of the back 4 have to go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just impossible to keep them.
But you can pull it off. You got the flair.
Look, we've closed up onto the top 4 or 5 teams, so
Yeah.
we're not far behind now.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to play United at this stage, I can guarantee you.
Okay, Man City 1-3. Is that
Yeah, Man
accurate?
City at home, I think, will be too good for Arsenal. You know, these top teams, they win about 90-95% of their home matches.
Yeah.
So I would
So,
go Man
okay.
City definitely.
And then West Ham, Liverpool. Now West Ham have put up a bit of resistance at home, but Liverpool are going to be hurting from not winning last night at home.
No, on current form, Liverpool have got this under control. I think they will be too good for West Ham. West Ham, just when you're in a bad run of form, it just goes against you. And I think Liverpool, like I say, pushing for the league title now, they will be hurting from dropping points when they could have been 7 points clear. So
Okay,
Liverpool, 5 to 10,
lovely.
a good bet.
Let's shoot through. We've got some on the. We might have the championship fixtures up. We're going to run through them quickly. I need your opinion because I still want to get to Budgie's best bets. Okay, let's start at the top. Preston, Derby County. Budgie's beloved Preston. Derby, good side.
Yeah, I think Derby, good
Yeah,
side.
me
I
too.
think
I'm
they've got
ticking.
them playing well.
We
I think
both
they'll
give
win
a
this
tick
game.
to Derby.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Birmingham, Notts Forest.
This is a tough game.
Tough game,
Forest
yeah.
have climbed the ladder, but
Yeah.
Birmingham always hard to beat at home.
So you're
I'm
going?
leaning towards the draw there.
I'm ticking these off, Gav. I'm going to remind you. Okay, Brentford, Blackburn.
Now,
Another
Brentford
tough one.
started the season so well and just seem to have capitulated along the way.
They are 9 to 10 to win.
Yeah, they're favourites to win the game at home. But, this championship is such a tough league to play on.
Yeah.
I think
it's
I'm
tough.
leaning towards Blackburn.
Okay, going to get a bit of 28 to 10. Bristol City, Swansea.
Another 7th plays 11th on the table. These games are really tough.
Because 7 can get into playoff quite comfortably.
Yeah, if you go on a run, I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at Budge's one of his teams further down, Hull City, they've made an exceptional run of form, 6-7
that's
games
right.
they're in it. But Bristol City at home against Swansea, I would give it to the home ground, win and draw for City.
Okay. Now we're going to go look at Hull City, the team that's doing so well. They play a team that everyone expected to do well, Stoke City.
Budge sucked me into Stoke every week I've done my money with them. I've given up on Stoke.
Hull are favourites.
And Hull, I mean, Budge about 6 weeks ago said this is his value bet, and I don't think they've lost since then.
Yeah.
They've
geez,
won
they're
at
doing well,
14 to 10, 15 to 10 each week, and they keep rolling. I think
Okay.
Hull City do well.
Ipswich Town, Sheffield Wednesday. Give us an opinion.
Ipswich Town, bottom of the log,
Yeah.
24th, struggling. I mean, really struggling. I remember the old days of Ipswich, they had some great players. They're just a shell of
Yeah,
themselves
that's
now.
right. They won the league, Ipswich, years
I would,
ago.
I would probably lean Sheffield Wednesday in the draw.
Okay, how about Millwall, who've just beaten Everton in the FA Cup against Rotherham?
Yeah, no, two struggling teams once again. 19th place, 21st points table, close 29 versus 25. Millwall 6 to 10
It's short.
in a
bit
scrubber
thin.
match.
Yeah.
You'd have to lean towards the home team, I would think, then Millwall
Okay,
to
we'll
get out
go
of
with
it.
them. Reading and Villa.
Well, Reading's just, they've also another team that's just failed to deliver this year. And you can say the same thing with Aston Villa. I mean, they've got some good players, they've got a good coach, got everything in their favour. They just can't put a run of games
They
together.
are favourite away from home, Villa. So
I would lean towards them just purely
Yeah,
on the fact
yeah.
that they're quite a few points ahead of Reading.
Sheffield United, Bolton.
Yeah, Sheffield United was my team to get promoted this year, and I see they're hanging in there still at the third position.
Yeah.
Bolton struggled all the way down. It's 51 points versus 23.
Yeah.
You would lean towards Sheffield United to win this one.
Okay, West Brom, Middleburg. Tough.
Well, this
clash.
will be the game of the weekend. And that's,
West Brom favourites at home, 11 to 10.
Yeah, I like West Brom. I think they're a nice team. They're well balanced. Good players. I think they're looking strongly to get promoted back up. So I think they will win this one.
Excuse me. Wigan Athletic QPR.
Well, QPR, I mean, another one of those teams of the past where we supported them. Just can't put a run together. They win one, then they lose two.
Yeah.
Just can't get it together. Wigan, the same thing. It's 20 versus 14.
Draw?
Draw looks like on the cards.
Okay, then a major game. Leeds United, Norwich. Leeds 8 to 10 at home, Norwich 3 to 1. How
I'm
do you
leaning
see it?
towards Leeds purely on the fact that it's their home game.
Okay.
And Norwich have to come into town. So I would lean towards Leeds. I think maybe make Leeds one of the better bets.
All right, now we've got a few fixtures that are the PSL. That's warming up as well. We've got a few fixtures here. I've got it, only got 5 games. Is that accurate? But Bidvest Wits up there cruising, 5 to 10 Maritzburg.
Yeah, I think Wits will be odds on to win this one at 5 to 10. Maritzburg can't put a run together. They're struggling. They just
who's
about
Tinkler
gone.
joined? Tinkler's
He's
them.
joined.
Tinkler's joined.
They're
them.
struggling.
Struggling.
I mean, Gavin was moaning about his strikers not scoring the other day, and they got 6. And
Yeah.
I actually watched the game. They should have been 26.
Is that right?
That's how many chances
so they're a
they
fair
missed.
team?
But it's a very good side to beat.
Yeah,
You know, Mill
yeah.
Park Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, they're hard
That's
to
right.
beat. Yeah.
8 o'clock Friday night. Golden Arrows, Highlands Park.
Steve's come into town and taken over Golden Arrows. I mean, he's done well with them. The couple of
Yeah.
games he's been there. And Owen de Garma's with Highlands Park.
Yeah.
So 2 old names from the past. Golden Arrows, I'm going to lean towards them. I think they're going to go into a bit of a run now. I think they're quite tough to beat in Durban.
Free State Stars, Polokwane.
Well, this Polokwane side,
6 to 5.
they can score some goals.
Yeah.
Well, this team, they can score some cracking goals. If you watch their goals, you put them on tape.
Yeah.
These guys can score goals, but just not consistent enough. They have climbed into the top 6 now. So I think I'll lean towards Polokwane in the draw.
Okay. And then there's 2 more. Bloem Celtic against Black Leopards. 12 to 10 Bloem Celtic.
Bloem Celtic, you know, they've got everything in their favour. They've got the crowd, they've
Yeah,
got a
big
magnificent
crowd.
stadium up
Yeah.
there. It's just there's no money in the club apparently. It's just
Is
the
that
players
right?
is not getting paid, or they're getting paid late, and
That's not good
it's
enough.
just not good for the players. And
Yeah.
you know,
That's
they're
right.
throwing
You don't
away
wanna-
an opportunity to
That's
build a
right.
magnificent club.
Yeah.
Black Leopards coming into town also not consistent, but I'm going to lean towards Black Leopards at 3 to
Okay,
1.
good. 3 to 1 shot. Then Baraka Chipper.
Well, Clinton Larson's first game for Chipper got a fantastic result against
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah,
So
amazing
that would have
result.
put
2-0.
him Well, I don't know what it is with managers taking over new teams. They always seem to win first game.
New
To
broom
get a
sweeps
result,
clean,
to get a result against Sundowns. I mean, it's a fantastic result, but not consistent. Again, Baraka can be tough to beat. Baraka, I'm leaning towards Baraka to win this one.
All right, let's go and have a look at the Soccer 6. Here we go. This is the Soccer 6, and here are the selections. Tottenham, you agree?
I'll concur with that. Tottenham to win that.
Give me your opinions on the way through, going down.
Golden Arrows win and draw for
Okay.
Budge. Real Sociedad and Bilbao. Tough game in the Spanish league. So the draw is a big player. Polokwane City and Free State. I see Budge has gone the same way as us with the 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates and Esperance in the Champions League. Pirates need to win this to stay in contention and get through. I think Pirates in the draw. Celta Vigo and Sevilla. I saw Sevilla got a bit of a smack from Barcelona last night, 6-1. So their confidence is going to be really dented.
Yeah.
But I would think that Sevilla should get something from that game.
Okay, that's good. And now here's the other Soccer 6.
Yeah, Brighton 1, 2, and 3. I
Covered
can't
all
split
the
those teams.
bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good cover. Burnley on their performance during the week, definitely win that. Chelsea,
Bounce back.
that's definitely a formality, I would think.
I think he picked this without knowing.
Yeah,
sent off.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But tough game. But if he
Tough
gets
game.
through with Crystal Palace, it'll be a great one.
Because he's covered
And
the
yeah,
last
he's
two.
covered the last two. I mean, it'd be hard to split them.
All right, let's look at the 10. Here's the Soccer 10.
Again, Brighton has covered all his bases. Burnley and Chelsea, I think they would be the outright winners. And then again, with the Crystal Palace and Everton, cover all your bases again.
Yeah, so those two.
Just hope for the best results.
He's got to have Burnley and Chelsea winning that 5 are through. Okay, the next 5 of the 10.
Hull City, agree. I mean, they're in rich rain form, these guys. They should be able to get through that with Stoke blowing hot and cold. West Brom in a big match. Middlesbrough inconsistent, so I'd go with West Brom. Cover the bases with Aston Villa because both teams not consistent at all. And then Leeds win and draw. And Bournemouth on their performance.
Bournemouth, Because they're on a roll now. Well, they'd like to think
they'll
they
take
are.
confidence of that one during the week.
Okay, and then the 13. This is a tough one.
This is always tough because as soon as you think a team is going to get you through,
Yeah,
they'll
you go
go
Man
in
City,
drawing.
you go-
It just throws. And the pools have been terrific in some of the players. So, but good luck to the guys that catch them. Yeah, Chelsea definitely will win that game. Wolverhampton Wanderers, I see Budges leaning my way with the 2-3. Brighton 1-2 with Watford. I would actually go further for your pool if you could. Burnley on their performance during the week, definitely a 1. Crystal Palace Fulham.
He's throwing in the draw.
He's throwing in the draw there on the 13. I think he needs to cover himself. Bournemouth on their performance, definitely a 3. Leeds United at home, and I would also lean towards Leeds United to win that on 1-2.
Okay, and then the last bit.
Birmingham, always tough to beat at home, but I see Budge has gone for Forest away from home, the 2 and 3.
In the draw, yeah.
The Swansea and Bristol City. I think Bristol City, with the home team, I think they'll get the results. I think the 1-2 is covered nicely. Hull in the form that they are, definitely a banker.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, he's cut
He loves
already
Villa.
out. He's going, they've got a rich history, Villa. I mean, they should get
sure.
through that. West Brom, I agree, and the Wigan Athletic, Queen's Park Rangers, I would go all 3, but 1-2 is for a bet.
All right, now we come to Budge's best bets. Now, he's gone. This is 3,300 to 200. Burnley to win. You agree with him?
100%.
Bournemouth away from home to win. Man City scoring both halves against Arsenal. And West Ham and Liverpool over 2.5. I think it's quite a good bet.
Yes, I think that'll go close, that bet.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll go close.
The only one that I'd be maybe a little bit worried about will be against the Arsenal. They're not an easy team to roll over, but I think there could be goals.
All right, let's look at the quad, the Championship quad. He's big on Hull City, West Brom to win. Sheffield United by more than 1 goal.
Yeah, I think they're chasing the Championship, so I think they would win that game.
Okay, and then Leeds Norwich, I believe they got 2.5 goals. So they say
he's expecting goals in this game.
Expecting goals, yeah. It's the top of the league clash, 2.9 to 200. The next one of his bets is going to be the win or draw 5. Wolves away, Forest away, Blackburn away. Whoa, he's looking for it. Then Celta Vigo and Getafe.
He's looking for a couple of spooks here. It looks
Yeah,
like
he's looking. He's needing these
it
draws.
looks like one of my Sunday afternoon desperado bets.
Yeah, that's right. 2,300 to 200. And then both teams to score. Palace, Fulham, okay. Brentford, Blackburn, okay. Ipswich, Sheffield. Can Ipswich score? They're at home. They should.
Yeah, at the bottom of the log, but I don't think they can get a goal at home.
Yeah, Leeds, Norwich, Reading, Villa.
I mean, it's a fantastic bet for both teams to score. You're getting good value. You're getting 8 to 10, 9 to 10 for some of the teams when they could be odds-on favourites to win the match.
Yeah.
So if you can catch one of those, you can make some money.
All right, let's look at the last two things, and that we've got We've got the win and draw fiver. We've got the 6 on Nixa. Is there no Spanish omelette and Collis
There's your
King?
Spanish
omelette?
Atletico Madrid and Eibar to win. Both teams to score, so he's putting quite a lot into that match. Real Vallecano, Leganes, and Real Sociedad, Atletico Bilbao. Nice value bet, 229 to 200.
Yeah.
Could be some value in that.
And then the Collis King 6 on Nix.
Burnley
at home.
Burnley
Man
at home.
City at home.
Sheffield United pushing.
West Brom at home.
Yeah, I think that's...
Atletico and Barcelona. What do you get? 6,500. Wow.
Somebody's on the stretch there. I think Burnley can get a nice price.
Yeah, something's
West
pushed them
Brom,
up. Yeah.
I think a lot of 8 to 10s and 7 to 10s. That's how it stretches your bet nicely.
Absolutely right. Now, we always end off our show with the best bets, and the best bets. His best bet is West Brom. Now, Bud's got an incredible record with these best bets. 11 to 10. West Brom said last week it was Derby at 9 to 10, and these value bet this week is going to be Burnley at 18 to 10. Last week it was Crystal Palace at 2 to 1. Budge knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's if you've been following Budge on the best bet, you've been making money.
Yeah, he definitely knows his stuff.
The whole city went on a run of 6 games. They're still going strong.
Still going strong.
Some good value.
And don't forget, last one standing. There's only 4 of you left. Hilton is favourite. Mark Furrey's going to push them all the way. They've got the better teams to select from. Get those bets in, and Budge will, or the selections in, and Budge will be sending them out to everybody. Until next week, stay on side.